The following content has been generated with artificial intelligence under minimal human supervision. The data presented may contain errors or inaccuracies. The opinions expressed in this content do not necessarily reflect the vision, position, or values of DigiAll. We recommend verifying critical information with additional sources before making decisions based on this content.
Welcome to DigiAll Tech News. Today is Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. I'm Kylie Brooks, and this is where technology becomes clear and engaging. China is weighing tighter export controls on advanced AI models, training data, and chip designs as AI becomes a strategic national asset. Some enterprises are still paying for frontier AI models from providers like OpenAI and Anthropic, even as other companies hunt for cheaper alternatives. At SIGGRAPH, Nvidia announced new tools for neural rendering, physical AI simulation, synthetic video detection, and agentic creative workflows. Gallup says more than half of US employees now use AI at work, but public confidence in AI governance remains shaky. Chris Fall has resigned as director of the US Center for AI Standards and Innovation, just 3 months after taking the job. Let's start with a policy story that shows how quickly AI is becoming part of national security strategy. Chinese authorities are considering tighter export controls on AI and semiconductor technologies, according to a Financial Times report cited by Reuters. The goal would be to keep advanced domestic AI capabilities inside China and treat top models more like strategic assets. Officials at the Ministry of Commerce have consulted companies including Alibaba, ByteDance, and Zhipu about blocking overseas transfers of key training data and preventing foreign users from downloading model weights, which are the core files that make a model work. Discussions also include whether overseas chip makers such as Qualcomm and TSMC could be blocked from fabricating advanced semiconductors using designs from Chinese firms like Huawei, Alibaba, and ByteDance. Here's the key context. These are proposals under review, not adopted rules with a public enforcement playbook. But the direction matters because it points toward a more fragmented AI supply chain, where access to models, data, and chips is increasingly filtered through geopolitical boundaries. The practical question is whether controls like this actually slow foreign access or simply accelerate parallel AI ecosystems. Now to the business side of AI, where the cheapest model is not always the model companies want. Some enterprises are continuing to prioritize frontier systems from providers such as OpenAI and Anthropic, despite steep and rising costs. The appeal is performance on complex multi-step reasoning tasks and capabilities such as autonomous AI agents. Those systems also require heavy compute and process large volumes of tokens, which is one reason AI bills can climb fast. The tension is pretty simple. One group of companies is trying to control token spend by moving to lower-cost options, while another is willing to pay a premium if the model can handle more sophisticated work. That matters because AI strategy is splitting into two very different operating philosophies. For some teams, efficiency is the product strategy. For others, the bet is that better reasoning creates enough advantage to justify the bill. The question I would keep asking is not just, can the model do more? But can the company measure when that extra intelligence is actually worth the extra cost? At SIGGRAPH 2026 in Los Angeles, Nvidia used its stage to make a bigger argument. AI is moving from chat boxes into creative tools, simulated worlds, and physical systems. One release is Cosmos 3 Edge, a 4 billion parameter open model for real-time on-device inference. Another is Cosmos Dreams, a closed-loop simulation system for autonomous vehicles and other physical AI projects that can generate full worlds from single frames on a single RTX Pro 6000 GPU. Nvidia also introduced a synthetic video detector NIM microservice with reported accuracy up to 92% on uncompressed video, 87% at 15% compression, and 82% at 50% compression, while processing 1080p video in as little as 22 milliseconds on RTX hardware. On the creative side, applications including Adobe Firefly, Creative Cloud, Blender, Unreal Engine, and side effects Houdini. 22 are adding MCP support so AI agents can inspect scenes, manage layers, write scripts, and validate pipelines while keeping people in control. What interests me here is the mix of ambition and friction. Local agents on RTX, Pro Workstations, DGX, Spark, and DGX Station could help with responsiveness and data security. But for studios and developers, the real test is how these claims hold up across messy production workloads, not just polished demos. AI at work has crossed a psychological threshold. A Gallup survey released July 21st found that 52% of US employees now use AI at least a few times a year, up from 27% 2 years earlier. The most common uses are writing and editing at 51%, search or research at 49%, and general assistance or problem solving at 39%. Roughly 1/3 of users turn to AI several times per week or more, with 15% using it daily. Companies are moving too. 47% of respondents said their organizations have integrated AI tools to boost productivity, efficiency, or quality, up from 41% in the prior quarter, while 20% were unsure. The productivity story is encouraging, but it is also uneven. Among workers using AI for at least one task, 45% see a positive productivity effect. Among people using it for 7 or more purposes, that rises to 90%. At the same time, Pew polling from February found deep skepticism, including 2/3 of Americans expressing little or no confidence in the US government's ability to regulate AI effectively, and roughly 6 in 10 lacking confidence in companies' responsible development and use. So, the bigger issue is trust. AI is becoming normal at work before many people feel confident in the systems around it. Finally, a leadership change inside US AI governance. Chris Fall has resigned as director of the US Center for AI Standards and Innovation, or CAISI, around July 20th, just 3 months after he was appointed to lead the Federal AI Testing Institute at the Commerce Department. Arvind Raman, who already leads the Commerce Office overseeing the institute and previously served as Dean of Engineering at Purdue University, will serve as interim director. The departure matters because CAISI is not a ceremonial office. Its mandate includes working with leading AI labs such as Anthropic, Google DeepMind, OpenAI, Microsoft, and Elon Musk's xAI to stress test unreleased models for demonstrable risks. The focus includes preventing US adversaries from using advanced AI for chemical or biological weapons development and hardening training data against corruption. The Trump administration's AI posture has also been shifting from an initially hands-off regulatory stance in 2025 toward more active monitoring. So the question is continuity. Can a technical safety institute maintain momentum with labs, agencies, and engineers while its top leadership changes this quickly? Today's through line is control. Who can export advanced AI? Who can afford the best models? Who gets to verify synthetic media? Who trusts AI at work? And who keeps government testing programs steady as the technology accelerates? Thank you for staying informed with Digital Tech News. We'll be back with more updates as they develop.